In this complete live coaching episode with Ashley Freehan from The Purpose Gathering, you are going to hear us really dig into how to properly monetize and big picture growth for an existing successful brand. Ashley already runs the amazing Purpose Gathering workshops. She's a photographer. And so we really began going into how she can scale this brand. She's now actually become an elite private client of mine, and we are working through really incredible plan. So it's exciting for you guys to get to see the foundation of all of that work that we've been doing together. If you want to find out more about Ashley, head over to her Instagram at The Purpose Gathering. And you can also find out more about her at thepurposegathering.com. Welcome back to the Mompreneur Mastermind Show, where we choose to run insanely successful passive income businesses that light us up while consuming iced coffee, braless and flawless, and maybe breaking it down to some gangster rap while our kids aren't looking. Did we just become best friends? Yes, we did. Hey, I'm Stephanie Gass, six-figure corporate exec turned top 1% network marketer turned podcaster. I believe when we let God light our path, we experience true miracles. Welcome, sister. Let's get pumped up for today's show. If you're looking for some clarity in your business, some advice on how to scale properly, you want to map out an online course together, or you're simply facing some roadblocks, maybe mindset stuff you need to work through, please don't hesitate to grab a breakthrough coaching session with me. I have a few left at this time for the next 2 to 3 weeks. And so if you want to grab one of those, they do go really quickly. Please email my team at support@stephaniegass.com and we will get you the latest coaching menu so that you can do the things, right? I want to help you just like I helped Ashley today, kind of get out of our own way, because I know it's so difficult sometimes to know A, what the heck to do, and then B, how the heck to do it. And then C, have somebody just walk you through in a simple, tactical, tangible, step-by-step way that you can refer back to. And you can go, okay, Steph said to do this, step 1, step 2, step 3. So I am that type of coach for you. I do want to help you. I want to help grow and create more revenue for you. I want to help you have the course in the world. I want to help you do all the things right. So if you invest in yourself, at least for me, I have never invested in myself and not seen that returned tenfold. So don't let that be the reason that stops you from getting coaching, whether that be me or someone else. Investing in yourself and your business will always pay off in dividends, I promise you. I've never been disappointed when I've invested in myself. So here for you, email us support@stephaniegass.com.
So I feel like I want to nail down like exactly what to focus on as far as how to monetize the Purpose Gathering. I'm extremely busy in my photography business, so I need to figure out how I can kind of make up that money with the Purpose Gathering so that I can spend more time on that, if that makes sense. And I don't really need a ton of money to support my family. We only rely on like $1,000 a month, so it's not crazy, but of course I want to be, investing in retirement and doing other things. So 1,000 is the minimum I need to kind of replace that. But then of course I want to keep, and I don't want to stop photography. I think that's the most important thing is like, I want to keep doing that, but just, I want to shift because I primarily shoot weddings. I want to just do branded photo shoots now. So I kind of need to shift my gear that way. But I think the number one thing is like, I really want to work on a tiny offer that I can sell on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, so really you want to figure out how to cover the cost of the Purpose Gathering.
Yes.
And then you want a separate tiny offer to sell on Facebook and Instagram, right?
Yes. Yep.
All in all, to cover the $1,000 that you need to run that and to breathe easy in photography.
Right.
Oh yeah, we got this, girl.
Yeah, totally. I already am surpassing that with my own photography income. So it's great, but I definitely want to feel like I can invest more in the moms in my community and do more, but also create income as well. So
yeah, that's awesome. And I think it's cool because branded photography pairs perfectly with the women coming to the purpose gathering events, right?
yes, exactly. Yep.
That's so cool. And how are those events going so that I get a visual of what that event feels like?
Yeah, so the events are going really well. So we host monthly meetups that are free to the moms, and I have a different speaker that comes every month. And we spend like the first probably like 20 minutes like introing the purpose gathering, welcoming everyone, and then we do networking so that the moms get a chance to like meet other people. And then starting this month, I actually have 2 sponsors. So we'll be filling in a couple of sponsor spots where they just come and highlight their business and kind of share with the moms what services they offer. So for January, we have a naturopathic doctor coming and then also a massage business. So, and the whole basis of our meetup is how to put your health first this year. So the naturopathic doctor is coming to speak for about 30 minutes, and she will share like all of the things that she sees that moms struggle with, like adrenal health, thyroid health, like all that. And then we always have like discussion with the moms at their table so they can like talk about what they just learned.
And what are those sponsorships paying you?
$75. It's mostly just for like a shout out on Instagram, being featured in our email, like our monthly newsletter. This is like the first month I'm doing sponsorships. I didn't do it right. So it shouldn't have included a pitch. The pitch is really only if you do the exclusive sponsorship, which is $225.
Perfect. I was going to say they get 30 minutes. We're going to up that price.
Right. No, she gets 3 to 5 minutes to pitch. And then her presentation has to be 30 minutes pitch free.
Okay.
So that's only, yeah, sorry, I left that part out.
So 225 is that like advanced tier, and then that's when they get the speaking part in the future?
So that's the exclusive, meaning there's no other sponsors at the event. But if they wanted to do the shared sponsorship, it's $75 per person. And I was supposed to find a third sponsor, but I didn't do that. So
okay.
I'm
so
hoping to make like $225 every month for sponsorships. And that basically covers the cost of the meeting, which is $50. That's how much the space costs for me to rent every month. And then it just covers like my cost of like marketing the event and doing all the back end work.
How many women come on average, Ashley, to the meetup?
So the room only holds 40.
Okay.
So between 30 and 40.
Okay. Are you 100% adverse to charging anything?
So tried that once at one meeting, and it could have been the topic. It was accounting, so it was kind of dry, but it was trying to talk about like money and finances and how to do that. And we only had 15 people come, but we only charged $5. So my thought was always to end up charging. I started out doing it free because I wanted to build my community to sell my workshop. So I did an in-person workshop in July and then filmed the workshop. So now I have the workshop as a course, like ready to sell, but I have no way, like I don't have any strategy, no funnel, no, like all of that overwhelms me. So it's literally sitting in Thinkific and only 4 people have bought it.
I love this. Okay, this is so good. So think about this. Everybody has an opinion about everything, right? And especially if you're already influential, you definitely have an opinion because you have done things a certain way, which is where I'm like very anti, there is a right way to do anything.
Yeah.
I think the right way is your way. And I think if I was to join something and they were like, this is $5 just to cover the cost of the meeting spot, I'm like, well, here's 10 because you're doing all the work. And for me, when I pay for something, I show up for it. I think that there's more of a value when I pay for something as well.
Yeah. Right.
So I think the mindset behind you can't pay for it, you can throw that out the window.
Yeah.
I think $5 is a beautiful place to start. It's a tiny ask. You can send out a mass email being like, guys, this is just covering the cost of the venue. And I really hope you continue to come. And, you know, you can put a scholarship down if you want to for someone else that can't afford the $5. And you can have a scholarship program for these women because you shouldn't have to pay for the venue. All right. And sponsorship should be icing on the cake, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the math, if you had 30 people paying $5 each, that's $150. Plus, if you're getting the $225, you're at $375 an event.
Yeah.
And I think over time, you can either scale the price, or let's talk about how your workshop fits in with the woman coming to the event, because I think every single woman in that workshop should be hearing about or every woman at your event should be hearing about your workshop every time she comes. Your workshop should sponsor the event. You should have a pamphlet that goes out every single time. Like if it was my event, that's how I would run it, because I think $5 a month is like nothing.
Okay.
Or the majority of women that are probably coming can afford that.
Right.
Anyway, and so that's what my advice is on that one. And as far as sponsorships are concerned, I think your model is great. I love the idea of $225 for exclusivity. You get to hit up 40 women. You're on my IG. I think that that's a great price. And obviously you've already secured two so that you know that they're finding value there.
Okay.
You could also think about if they wanted to come 3 times a year, maybe you could offer them like a bundle.
That's a good idea.
And then the second tier here is this workshop. So your workshop has 6 modules.
Yep.
Business, tidying up your life, self-care, physical self-care, married life, positive parenting, and leading with authenticity. And you had mentioned having clearance from the guest speakers. Do you have that from everybody?
Yes.
Okay. And that's only $47?
Yes.
We got to raise the price, first of all. I mean, that's a ton of value. Like, plus it comes with a workbook.
Yeah, it is. And we only charged $97 for the actual in-person with lunch. Like, it was a huge undertaking. I made no money on it, but it was fun.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I would for sure, I mean, 147 comes to my mind, like just hearing the stuff you're teaching and that it comes with a workbook as well. And the fact that these women already trust you, Ashley, like they know you, right? They're showing up to your monthly event. They're following you on social media.
Right.
So I would absolutely monetize every single event with your workshop. What is it called?
I don't have a name for it yet.
Okay. And your get-togethers, those are called the purpose gathering.
Yep.
What if it had a play off of that, like something to do with purpose? Because I mean, all the stuff you're teaching in there is like life on purpose, right?
Right. I was trying to think, like I was kind of playing with the idea of like finding peace in the chaos or purpose in the chaos. But then I don't want people to be like, oh, well, I'm not chaotic. So like, I don't want to have like a negative connotation.
Yeah. What if it was something like thriving on purpose?
That's cute.
Yeah, like thriving on purpose, a roadmap to your most purposeful life.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. And then I think what you could do is every single time that I'm sure you stand up and like, welcome everyone and say something in the beginning.
Yeah.
And you can just let them know, ladies, I had hosted an event a while back and it's got hours and hours of content. I've packaged it up and this course is sponsoring these events going forward. It's called Thriving on Purpose. It is the roadmap to your most purposeful life. It's an online course, comes with a workbook, and I would love every single one of you to get access to this course. Here's a, $10 off coupon code for you. If you head on, I put the checkout link right there at your seat, and you guys can grab a $10 off coupon code if you purchase within 48 hours or whatever you want to gift them.
Yeah.
Like to drive the urgency to go buy.
Right.
But if you sold one every time you had a meeting, which you'll sell a lot once they start hearing about it every single month.
Right.
That's another $150.
Yep.
And it's something they need. Like that's a huge value to their life, right? So I think it's something that you can feel really good about marketing.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Any questions on that piece?
No, I love that.
Okay. And do you do like a little gift, like a little bag or something for everybody at their seat? Because I was thinking if you put that in there for them with their coupon code.
I haven't, just because I have made no money. So I'm like, oh, I don't have any money to do that. But at the actual workshop, we did little swag bags and just put in I had a mom author, I bought books from her for everyone. The swag bag was awesome. So I've thought about doing that because I want them to feel like pampered when they come out, but I just haven't had the funds to do that.
Well, and anybody that's sponsoring, you can ask them, do you have a product or like a sticker or like something you want to add to a swag bag? Because if you did want to start doing a swag bag model, you can raise the price, right? $15,
yeah, that's true.
$15 a woman now. And this month we've got a, whatever, With God She Rises journal from Stephanie Gass. And we've got a coffee cup from this local coffee shop. And you guys have a couple of coupons in here for whatever, like local businesses maybe.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And then they want to pay you $15 because they want the swag bag.
Yeah, exactly. No, I love that.
Yeah, I would love to pay $15 and get a swag bag versus just paying $5. Like, heck yeah.
Right.
So
awesome.
Something to think about there. And I think you could get a lot of stuff donated.
Yeah, totally.
Let them know. This goes to 40 women that are in your niche and it drives local business. Would you love to just, donate something? I think you'd get a lot of people that would love to donate something.
Totally. And like that could be a paid thing too. Like, you can pay me to put your business card or pamphlet in the swag bag.
Yes, exactly.
Because we used to have to do that when I was at the bridal show for photography. They would be like, hey, if you want in on the swag bag, you have to bring us your stuff. And it's like $150. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But you get in everyone's bag. It's like genius.
It's genius. Exactly. I love that model. And that's also something just even on a whole nother level of profitability. If you went to 10 local companies and are like, hey, for $20, I'll put your business cards in, but you got 10 companies to say yes, that's $200 more. And it's a business card and a swag bag. Or if they want to put something else of value, like a coupon code or a offer, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, totally.
Okay. So from those ideas alone, we've come up with a minimum of $500 a month covering your event.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about this tiny offer to sell.
Yes.
I'm just trying to think if that's your best play.
I can tell you what it is. I've been really thinking about it.
Okay, tell me.
So I want to do a parenting bundle because I feel like that's where I have the most value to give. And I did the talk at the workshop on parenting. So I have that half-hour audio training. Well, it's actually video training. So I was thinking about including that in there and then upselling, like if they bought the tiny bundle, then it would automatically offer them the full, workshop that we were just talking about. So you kind of start with a tiny offer and you get one full lesson or module and all of the coursework that came with it. And then if you like it, or you can upgrade and get the full workshop. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. That's what I do that with my podcast course.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. They get, for $27, they get the first module out of the master course. And then I have basically, once they buy that, they're in an email funnel. So here's where it gets annoying. This is why I said to sell on Facebook or Instagram, maybe the piece that might not be the right fit for you, but let's talk it through. Because I've got lots of money going to Facebook ads, have to set up the email funnels. It's got the upsell inside the course as well. And then when they are ready to buy the full course, it's $400 more, right?
Right.
All that being said, it is super expensive to test and get a Facebook campaign to actually convert.
Okay.
Full disclosure, you're going to spend a couple $1,000 to really figure it out. Which ads are working? Okay. It's just a big, huge process, which is fine.
Yeah.
If once you get it going and it is working, great. But I mean, it's taken me 2 years to figure out ads to get them to convert and to get the right. And unless you can hire a company, which is thousands of dollars also.
Right.
So not to dissuade you from that, but the money you would make on that, I don't think would be worth it.
Okay.
I think, is there a different way to either grow the purpose gathering to a larger scale or to sell this workshop that you already have that's already extraordinarily inexpensive to an organic market? Or like you have great Instagram engagement. You have great following on Instagram. Have you considered podcasting?
Yes.
Okay.
I actually want to launch a podcast in April, but I was thinking in my head, like, oh, well, I should get this tiny thing, the tiny offer out so I can start at least selling that and making money, because I know podcasting takes so much time. And right now, like, I don't feel like I have a lot of extra time laying around to trade. That makes sense.
It does.
So,
but here's the thing. Your podcast, Ashley, will bring you all the revenue. So I get that, because it seems backwards, like, but I need to make money before I start the podcast. But the podcast, it's the revenue driver.
Okay.
That is like, it is crazy what my podcast has done for my business. Like, I had the biggest month of my entire life in December, all from the show. Like, people hear me, they trust me, they like what I teach. And then every time I say, guys, this show is sponsored by Thriving on Purpose. This is your full master course to a roadmap to your most purposeful life. To learn more about living intentionally and going through these 6 systems with me, head on over to blah right?
Right.
And so all your listeners are hearing over and over again how you have a workshop they can buy right away. Or if you're local, I have an event that you have to come to. And before you know it, you are going to have to grow that event space. You're going to have 200 people wanting to come. You're going to be selling your course. It's crazy.
Well, that sounds nice.
Doesn't it? It's so much better than Facebook ads. I mean, 1,000,000%. So since you're already going to do that, I'm going to pour fuel on your fire that you need to do that.
Okay.
And I would have you already
to like table the tiny offer?
What's that?
Should I just table the tiny offer? Like I have other things that was going to be included too. Or do you think that the tiny offer helps like lead people in?
147 is like a no-brainer buy already. And you're giving them the whole caboodle for 147. I think that is your tiny offer. Like,
okay.
I know.
I can't even think over that. Like, that just seems so expensive for me to charge anything more than that.
Here's what you do. I got it, Ashley. You give away your module on parenting for free. That's your opt-in. That's your opt-in to your email list. That's your free thing that you're going to gift to your community to get them on an email list. Okay.
Okay.
Then in that email sequence, let's not call it a funnel because then it gets really weird. Just an email sequence over the course of 8 weeks. Once a week, you hop in, you ask them how they're loving it. You hope that they grew from what they learned this week. Have they listened to the latest episode? This week, you're teaching about mind and soul self-care. Oh, and P.S., did you know that you can grab the full master course in Thriving on Purpose, not just parenting? Here's the link, because they already got a taste of the first module. They want the other 6.
Totally.
That's your upsell. And that's how you get people in your email sequence.
Awesome. I love that. So tell me about email sequences, because that like blows my mind. Like I've been hearing from everyone, you've got to have an email. But when I go to like think about that just like makes me crazy. I'm like, that's another thing I have to add is like making the sequence and like following up. And so like, how does that work?
Okay. So let's do this. Don't create an email sequence. You just create the free thing. Okay. And like, just use MailChimp for free for now. Okay. You don't need any fancy stuff like to get started. You just don't need it. MailChimp is great. And I loved it when I had it. It's free. So you sign up there and you set up a free landing page. It's right there inside of MailChimp. It will say a sign up page or a landing page. They'll call it something like that.
I do use MailChimp.
Okay, good. So you know what I'm talking about. So it's like going to be like crazy simple. Like get your completely free guide to positive parenting, a 30-minute training for you completely free, right?
Right.
They put in their email. You set up one email, just one, that automatically, once they opt into the list, you send them the free little mini training. Even if you just as an attachment, or you probably have it already in Thinkific, send it over to them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, next week, you just write one email a week, real time. As you do your podcast episode, let's say episode 1 is tidying up your life. Okay. We'll take one of the topics from your course. Hey guys, in today's episode, we talked about 3 steps to really tidying up your life and your mind. And I love doing this episode because blah, 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 blah. You're going to walk away with 4 tips to really declutter and simplify So click here to listen to the latest episode. So it's like just a blurb in the email about why they need to go listen to the show. You also have in there, are you local? The next purpose gathering event is blah, blah, blah. Click here to grab your ticket. Want to be a sponsor of the event? Click here, right? And then the next piece of your email is interested in thriving on purpose, ready to transform to the most purposeful life in these areas, marriage and parenting and authenticity and mind and body soul care. I've got a perfect workshop for you, complete with a workbook. Click here to purchase. So you have free content at the top of the email. You have your event in the middle, and then you have your upsell at the bottom, right?
Right.
And you just do that once a week. And as your email list grows, it's cool. Next week you have another email, and next week you have another email. And in 90 days, guess what? You have whatever that is, like 15 emails already written that you're going to save, and you're going to build something called an email sequence out of those 15 emails.
That sounds easier. I like that.
So much easier. And all this means is you're going to go in and MailChimp will have this option for you. It will say, when somebody signs up to the list, like Thriving on Purpose podcast list, we then go send them email 1, and it sends them, here you go. Or if they get the freebie, right? Send them the freebie. That's the first email. Then it will say, wait blank amount of time, wait 1 week, send them email 2. You already built email 2. It's already there. Boom. Wait 1 week. Send them email 3. That's all it is. And you're going to do that for all 15 emails that you had already created.
Perfect. That sounds good.
And it's no pressure. There's no open cart crap. I hate that stuff. I'm like, just being authentic and talking about something that I know will help somebody, it sells every time. And so that's all you have to do. There's no complicated secret to like making it convert, because this is your authentic audience. They already know who you are. They probably follow your Instagram. They're going to be listening to your podcast, coming to your events. It will be a no-brainer buy for them.
Okay. So where do you think I should host the workshop? Because right now it's on Thinkific, but it's like their free version. So I don't know if I should keep it there, because I don't want to start selling if I'm going to like move platforms.
Thinkific is great. I mean, really, there's only 3 major players. It's Thinkific, Kajabi, and Teachable. Okay. And as far as I know, they're all really similar. I use Teachable only because it interfaces with my checkout software, and I love their app. So that's why I chose them. But I think Thinkific is really similar, and they probably all like charge pretty similarly to each other because they're major competitors of each other. So I think you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. Anything else on this stuff? Because I totally want to talk about getting your podcast going if we've covered all your other questions.
Yes, that sounds good.
Okay. Do you have any ideas for the show? Like what you would call it, or what you kind of have a vision for it already?
So I was thinking about what I would name it, but then I don't really want to like necessarily name it something like completely different. So I was just kind of thinking like the Purpose Gathering podcast. I don't know if that's a mouthful.
Oh yeah.
I wanted it to be something having to do purpose, with purpose, like thriving on purpose. Like you said, like having something, I don't know if that's taken though.
It's not.
Oh, it isn't. So I just, there's thrivingonpurpose.com is digging deeper to climb higher. It's like already that.
The website is taken. The podcast name is not, but the website is. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about, and you probably already have the domain for the Purpose Gathering?
Like for the actual meetup, you mean?
Yeah.
I just call it the Purpose Gathering Meetup.
Okay. Is the Purpose Gathering available as a domain?
Oh, I have that domain. Yeah.
Okay. Then that makes the most sense.
So yeah, I just finished my website too. So after we were done talking, you can look at it if you want.
I just pulled it up. I love it. Oh, get out of here.
Thank you.
So all we're going to do is add another little clickable podcast.
Okay.
And it's the Purpose Gathering podcast. 1,000,000% yes.
Okay. Perfect.
And I love that so much. And like, obviously you'll just stay within brand of this whole idea. Like I almost love your graphic at the top where it's like two girls linking arms with no face on it, like Purpose Gathering, how to juggle all the things. Like, that's your channel art.
Yay. Awesome.
Easy peasy. Love that. Obviously we want to have, with your name, with Ashley Freehan across the bottom. And then I think we want to work on a promise a little bit more, like a tagline.
Okay.
Like if we were to tell the women coming to your event, one sentence promise. I'm just trying to think of like, how would we phrase that one promise to her of like, what is this, right? What is she going to find? Because the podcast, I feel like, is kind of going to be what's happening with the Purpose Gathering. It's like the virtual replica of it. Yeah. And there may even be a way for you to figure out how to record the speaking that's happening at your events so that they're getting recorded.
I've been thinking about that. I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
I know there's a way to do it because people do it all the time, when they speak at a live event and then they repurpose it to their show. I know there's a way to do that for sure. We can Google that and we'll figure that out. Okay. But anyway, so the promise that I'm kind of thinking of could be something like claiming, or we can stick with that thriving theme, thriving through motherhood, business, and purpose.
I like that.
Because I really want, like you have down here, strengthened, empowered, supported. And exactly, like we really want to have like a promise to her, like, what is this? This is really, this is a community so that you can be strengthened, empowered, supported. You can thrive in motherhood and business. And I think really want to hit him too with like the community aspect of it, because I think that's your whole focus here is like you wanted to create this gathering of these fired up women who wanted to live their best lives, right?
Totally. Yeah, I'm excited. I could totally see this like going to other cities and like growing globally, like the Purpose Gathering in other locations and like other cities.
Oh, yeah.
I already have people on the West Side who are like, do you do any events on the West Side? And I'm like, oh, that's so far. Like, but like, maybe you want to like get together, like maybe we can branch off and you can help me plan like meetups and play dates with all the moms on the West Side who want community. So I'm already like trying to branch out with another girl to kind of reach the West Side because I can't do both yet.
That's amazing. And also like you could even potentially, this is a little bit more big picture, but if it's your name and somebody wanted to pay you like a licensing fee, kind of like a franchise model where you're like, look, you get to use my name, which is already recognized, these Purpose Gathering event. I send you the packet of like how to run the event, how to structure the event, how to find a great place, how to host, how to fill out your event. It's like a whole kit of how to make this successful. And then they would pay you like a licensing fee every month to use your name and to use your resources, not paid resources, but your expertise because you've already done it.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that idea too.
Yeah. And I don't know what you would charge for that. Maybe like you could do like 10% profit of every event.
Oh yeah. That's awesome.
And that's passive. So love that.
Perfect. Yeah, that would be totally cool. Cause I always think big picture, and I'm like, that is like the end goal, or where I would feel like I had arrived is if this was happening in other places.
Heck yeah. That's amazing. And the bigger you build your brand, which the podcast is going to help you do, the more power you'll have or the more people that will be interested, but then also to raise that price in the future because it'll have brand recognition.
Totally.
Yep. So other than that on the podcast, I think you have, especially if you can figure out a way to start recording these episodes, your events, you're going to have a lot of the content there because you can break it out into like 30-minute chunks and make 3 episodes out of it.
Okay.
You can also charge more, PS, because the sponsor, you can say also you can sponsor the episode for another $100.
Awesome.
It can be an upsell if they want to add that, right?
Right.
So the podcast sponsorships and And then as far as content is concerned for the show, I think you know the women coming to your event really well, probably, right?
Yeah.
You're talking to her. It's all the stuff in this workshop. It's the stuff you guys talk about at your event. Like, I think you know the content even better than I do because you already have a solid foundation of women coming.
Mm-hmm.
And you just do one of those once a week, 30 minutes or less.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
As far as the equipment that I need, like, what do you recommend that I like get started with for a podcast?
So you could totally start a podcast from your phone. I record often from my phone, and you guys probably don't really notice. iPhones are amazing these days. So depending on your budget, that is totally a thing. You also need a podcasting host, which I use Podbean. I'll send you an email with like my little sign up link for Podbean.
Okay.
And that's where it's like $10 a month, and you have to have that. It hosts your show. And then that host sends out something called an RSS feed to everywhere that people listen to podcasts, so that all you have to do is upload one and it automatically goes everywhere. iTunes and Google and Spotify and Alexa will play it, and like all the places.
Okay.
So you need that. And then other than that, really the only other investment would be if you don't want to edit yourself. You would have somebody edit for you. And that can be as low as like $40 an episode.
Okay.
Or you can edit yourself depending on how techy you are. And if you're not a perfectionist. If you're a perfectionist, I would highly recommend not doing it yourself.
So when you do a podcast, do you ever like start and stop and like pause it?
Oh, yeah.
While you collect your thoughts? Okay.
Yeah.
So because I was talking to Chelsea.
Mostly because my kid comes in and like talks about poop, and I'm like, oh, crud. Pause the episode.
Cute. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to Chelsea about that, and she says that she just starts and stops, and like that makes it easier, so you don't have like a ton of dead space, or like you don't have to go back through and like listen so much. Like,
yes.
So, okay. That's
exactly.
Cool.
Yeah. So, and if you end up doing Podcast Pro U, Chelsea has a affiliate link, I think.
Oh, she does? Okay.
I think. If not, make sure you tell her, get your link because I'm going to buy it.
Okay.
So that she can get credit for that if you end up wanting to do the course.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So equipment wise, that's really it. If you do want to invest in a microphone, I have $100 mic. It's the, I'll put it in the email as well. It's just called the Blue Yeti, but I'll put that in the email for you. And it's like $100.
Okay, cool.
And that's it. Like there's really not a huge overhead investment.
Okay. That sounds good. So this all sounds great, like when we're talking, but then actually putting it into practice and like doing all these things, like what tips do you have for like, how do I keep all this organized? Because I have like, literally, this is my second business. So I already have a lot of like, mostly my photography business it's a lot of like emailing clients, editing photos. And like right now I haven't been doing any marketing with Instagram, but I know that because I still am getting residual business from like being invested in my Instagram prior.
Yeah.
So I guess like, my question for you is like, what advice would you give me as a mom juggling two businesses? Like, how do I do this?
Yeah, I would totally outsource. Do you have a VA yet? A virtual
Not yet.
assistant? Okay. There are people, and I know it's like, oh, I can't afford that, but really you can. They are, or an intern. Okay. I mean, you can find people for free that you're like, look, come and learn photography or come learn about events, and get an intern or a $15 an hour virtual assistant that literally handles whatever you can hand off in your photography business. Cause probably a lot of that is like client correspondence or, you know, those pieces better than me, but that piece. And then in this business, you can totally have somebody outsourcing the editing for me is like a must, just so time consuming. And it's really not that expensive. You can use, I'll put it in the email, Fiverr, and just sort by reviews and find someone that's like $40 an episode. Cause it's not about perfection. It's about the content.
Right.
So it's outsourcing the stuff that you can so that you have more hours to sell your workshop at $147 an hour, right? Or blow up an event and have 100 people coming to an event versus 30. So you need more time and space to make more money. Think of it that way. How do I make more money and scale by outsourcing the little stuff at a very low price?
Okay.
That's my first
advice. That sounds good.
Yeah. Second advice is automate everything you can. So anything and everything I can automate, like I batch out podcast episodes. If I have an open day, I'll record 5. They're pre-recorded, sent them off to be edited. They're already uploaded. And then I have my virtual assistant create the Pinterest graphics for me. She posts it in Facebook for me and Instagram. She can create my graphics. And I just outsource all of that so that I just show up and it's already posted.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So automation. And then what else do I automate? You can also automate like your email. If you're going to do the once a week email, hey, I'm going to batch out my email. I know what 3 episodes are next. Create them ahead of time. They're already scheduled. So you can do that ahead of time. You can schedule out Instagram and Facebook content. Same thing. I don't create new content for social media. I reuse the email I already wrote.
Okay.
So I'm not creating 3 different things that say different stuff about the same episode. It's like same paragraphs going everywhere.
Okay. That sounds easier.
Yeah. What else? See, maybe your VA, you definitely need a virtual assistant, could start working on sponsorships for you. Hey, hit up 10 local businesses. This is the email we're going to send them. I want you to call them and follow up. Once we get interest, funnel them to me. Okay. And if you had somebody helping you for 5 hours a week, doing all this stuff, that's $150, $200, but you could sell 1 course, 1 workshop and make that up. Right. So automation, outsource. And then the last piece for me, I don't know if this would work for you in your business model, but I have a paper planner and then I also use Calendly, like as far as keeping my life in order. And I'm so intentional about, I know what I'm doing next week on Thursday. Right. It's so, yes, I'm very good about that too. Okay. Cause that helps. Once you have a lot of balls in the air, I'm just so intentional. Like if I have an open 15 minutes, I know where it's going. Absolutely. So I really want to listen. I haven't listened to your Instagram podcast yet, but I really need to because I feel like it's such a time suck. Instagram is dumb. I hate it and I love it at the same time. So it's going to be interesting for once you listen to it, DM me and tell me what you think, because I have this whole theory on Instagram and I think we all think that it's doing so much. And I think that it's actually like hurting us because we're wasting all of these open hours that we could be making $147 a sale over here. Right. And then Instagram hides you because you used the wrong hashtag or whatever. And I'm like, this is not the platform for businesses anymore. It used to be, and it's not. And I wanted to give everyone permission to let go of it because I'm blowing up. Like my business is bigger than it's ever been. And my Instagram is worse than it's ever been. That's so crazy to me. I love it. Yes. So put that on your to-do with everything else. But as far as order of operations before we go, Ashley, I would say the first thing for you is get your event to be profitable, right? Yeah. So I would definitely start charging. I would lock in the next couple of months sponsors because we want, like you said, some money in the bank. And so you can feel really great about launching the podcast. So give yourself 30 days to knock all of that out. Okay. And then the second thing is to then get the podcast going because you already have the workshop that you're going to monetize your events with. You already have everything in place. You need the thing that's yours, the funnel. So the next step is the podcast, and you had an April date, but I really think there's not a lot to launching a show. There's a lot to making a great successful show, like strategy of launch and content ideas. Like it's more about the long-term play than it is, hi, it's in the world. I've started it and you're a photographer. You're going to be able to create channel art. Like you don't need to do a lot of work up front to get it started. Okay. So I would actually pull that in and try to have like maybe a March 1st launch date.
Okay.
And then the only other thing you need right before you launch would be that free landing page of how they get the free parenting workshop.
Okay.
Because you want it from day one, you want to say like, oh, welcome to the Purpose Gathering podcast. You guys, this is sponsored by, or not sponsored by, because that's going to be your event and all the things, but I have a free gift for all of you. It's a 30-minute training on purposeful parenting. And if you guys head over to blah I will send it to your inbox right now, completely free, no strings attached. I want us all to thrive as parents. And I think that this is the first step to growing trust together is by gifting you this workshop, right?
Okay.
And so you're capturing emails from day one. And then once they start getting the email, they learn about the Purpose Gathering event and they learn about the Thriving on Purpose roadmap course.
Okay. Awesome. That sounds good.
Cool.
Thank you so much. This was so helpful.
Oh, I'm so glad. I will send you the replay and I would listen a couple times because there's so many things you just can't write down the first time. So, re-listen, see if you pull any nuggets out. And I'll send you that email with a few of those links that I had mentioned.
Okay, that would be great.
Yeah, and then we'll just go from there. But I'm excited for you. I think there's huge potential for you to be really profitable this year. And you just need to give yourself permission to like claim all of that you're worth, because you are. And your event is worth that as well. So
thank you. I'm so excited.
That was so much fun. Ashley is an incredible businesswoman. She is so smart, you guys, and she asks some really amazing questions. I hope that this episode helped bring you clarity as well about potential for maybe what you can do in the world, because I think Ashley has such a cool business model that is super unique. Hopefully you loved it. Listen a couple more times and enjoy. That was weird. Who says that? All right, beautiful. I'm going to send you off now with abundance prayer. How about that one? Let me just say that God wants favor over your life. He wants to pour the provision and gift you every single thing that you need to do His work well here. I pray that whatever it is that you seek today to grow your business, to scale your brand, to live the lifestyle that you desperately want, to get out of debt, to not have to worry, I pray that God gives you that provision and that you trust that He has your best interests at heart and He will provide whatever needs to be provided for you to continue doing His work. Okay, I want you to trust and believe and pray and know that He is here for you in every way, including financially, sis. Sending you a huge hug. I'll see you soon. As always, love and light, Stef.
If you like Mama's Talk, leave a review. Pretty please.
Hey Mama, real quick before you go, if you found value in today's podcast and you learned something new, take a screenshot for me, post it up in your Instagram stories, and be sure to tag me, because together we can empower, educate, and shift the way that mamas look at life. Because sister friend, we actually can have it all. Let's claim it.